Good evening, everyone. Please confirm if I'm audible to all of you or not.
Good evening, sir. Yes, you're audible.
Thank you so much, Alexander. All right, so everyone, in the last session, we were talking about the calculation of hidden goodwill, if I'm not wrong, right, Alexander? We have started this topic in the last session.
Yes, sir.
And okay, then after starting it, we did few questions. We must have done few questions based on the hidden goodwill. Like we must have done 111, then 112, and I must have given you some homework for you, some question for you homework as well. So, did I give question number 113 for your homework?
No, sir. You gave 109 and 110.
109 and 10 only for your homework.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So no questions were given on the basis of the hidden for the evaluation of the hidden goodwill. 109 and 10 only. Okay, so just tell me whether you guys have completed the homework or not. Then accordingly we'll move to the next part of the chapter. Tell me if anyone have any doubt in these questions, or else we will be starting with question number 13. 113.
Sir, I had a doubt in question number 110.
110. And what it is about?
Sir, like I don't know how to do it. See that the new partners, there are two partners introducing the capital, and I can't remember how to do it.
Okay, so there are two partners, A, B, and C. Three partners are there in the existing firm, and they are sharing profit and loss in the ratio of 5:4:1, respectively. Two new partners, D and E, are admitted. The profit are now to be shared in the ratio of 3:4:2:1. And D is to pay 90,000 for a share of goodwill. Okay, and but E has insufficient cash to pay for goodwill. Both the new partners introduce 1,20,000 as their capital. You are required to pass the necessary general entry. Okay, so the new profit sharing ratio is given in the question. The profit are now to be shared in the ratio of 3:4:2:1. This is the new profit sharing ratio of the partner NPSR, and this is the old profit sharing ratio among the partners, old PSR. Right. Then question is saying that D is to pay 90,000 for his share of goodwill, but E has insufficient cash to pay. All right. So D is paying 90,000 for his share of goodwill, but E is not paying anything for the goodwill. Right. So first of all, see the goodwill of D is given. On the basis of D's goodwill, we can calculate the E's share in the goodwill. Since D is coming for how much share? D is entering the form for two for the profit of 3 plus 4 plus 2 9 2 12. So 2/12 share, and he must have contributed goodwill in the ratio of 2:12, 2/12, and after calculating his share, the value of the profit is 90,000. So on the basis of the D's goodwill, we will be able to find out E's goodwill. All right, don't worry, I'll help you solve it. Both the new partners introduce 120,000 each as their capital. Okay. All right, so let's continue. Since the new profit sharing ratio is already given, the old profit sharing ratio is already given, right? So we don't have to do any calculation for calculation of the new PSR. Let's just start with the calculation of the goodwill, and such goodwill need to be uh, distributed among the partners in the sacrificing ratio. So in this question, we need to determine their sacrificing ratio. So first of all, D just solution 110. So D's, first of all, let's write down D's share. D's share is, just a moment. Let me just write down new profit sharing ratio, new PSR, new profit sharing ratio of the partner is already given, that is 3 is to 4 is to 2 is to 2 is to 1. So 3 is to 4 is to 2 is to 2 is to 1. This is the new profit sharing ratio of the partners, in which D's share will be this 2 by 12. 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 2 9, 9 plus 2 11, 11 plus 1 12. So that means D's share is 2 by 12. Is that correct? Everyone understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then D's share in goodwill. D's share in goodwill. D's share in goodwill is already given as 90,000. This is already given in the question. 90,000. All right. Okay. So now see, we need to first of all determine E's share in goodwill, and only then we will be able to pass the general entry for bringing the capital and for the goodwill. So E's share in goodwill. How do we calculate E's share in goodwill? E's share in goodwill. So we will have to apply this formula. See, we, in order to determine E's share of goodwill, we have to we should have an idea about the total goodwill of the firm. Total goodwill of firm. Then we will multiply it with the E's share in the firm. E's share. That is what we will do. Yes or no? To determine E's share in goodwill, what we will have to do, we should have an idea about the goodwill of the firm. Then we just need to multiply it by E's share so as to get the E's share in the value of the goodwill. So to find out the total goodwill of the firm, what we will do, we will simply multiply D's share of goodwill. See, how did we calculated D's goodwill? We must have calculated D's goodwill by applying this formula. See, pay attention, try to understand. We must have calculated D's goodwill by applying this formula. Total goodwill of the firm, total goodwill of the firm into D's share, that is 2 by 12. And after calculating it, we got 90,000. Is that right? How did we calculated D's share in goodwill? If we need to calculate D's share of goodwill, we will multiply the total goodwill into D's share. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if we just do the reciprocal of a share and multiply 90,000 by 12 and divide it by 2, we will get the total goodwill of the firm. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So therefore, to find out the total goodwill of the firm, what we will do, we will just multiply D's share of goodwill. Let me write it this way. Just into 12 upon 2. D's share in the business, in the firm, and then multiply it with D's share. All right. Now, D's share in goodwill is given as 90,000. We will multiply it by 12, divide it by 2, right? And then multiply it with each share. Each share is 1 upon 12. That is already given in the question. So multiplying 90 into 12, we will get one. It will be 10,80,000.
Sir, 12 by 12, right? You write 12 by 2.
Yeah, this will no, this will be 12 by 2. Sorry,
Okay.
D share was 12 by 2 na, 2 by 12 na. So we will just do the reciprocal of a share. So that will be
Yes.
12 upon 2. Got it? So after multiplying 12 upon 90,000 into 12 divided by 2, we will get 5,40,000. And then again we will divide it by 12. Dividing it by 12, we will finally get these goodwill as 45,000. Tell me everyone, is this clear to all of you? This is the calculation for each share of goodwill. Tell me if this calculation is clear to everyone, yes or no. Hiba, Mariam, and everyone else.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. Now we just need to pass the general entries, right? And for that, what we will do, let's just pass the general entries. General entry for bringing the capital, for introducing capital. For introducing capital. So the general entry for bringing capital is cash account debit, to who are the new partners? D and E are new partners. So we'll write down D's capital account. To E's capital account. Right, everyone? And both the partners have contributed. Both the partners have brought in 1,20,000 as their capital. So 1,20,000 for each of them. 2,40,000 will be total. Cash account will be debited by total of 2,40,000. And we can also write down the narration as being capital introduced in cash. What everyone, is this clear? Yes or no? Alexander, Heba, Mariam, Abin.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
It's clear. Okay. Now finally you will write down the general entry for the goodwill, for premium for goodwill. And the general entry for this will be cash account debit, 90,000 by by uh, by partner D, right? And what will be the contribution made by E, how much that E need to contribute? Tell me.
45,000.
45,000. So for that, what will be the general entry? Cash account debit to premium for goodwill. This will be the general entry for the goodwill that is brought in by the partner D. But what will be the general entry for the amount that need to be brought in by the partner E? Since question says that partner E have no sufficient cash available to contribute for his premium for goodwill. It says that D is to pay 90,000 for his share of goodwill, but E has insufficient cash to pay for goodwill. So tell me, how do we treat this?
Sir, E capital account debit.
Correct. Perfect. E's capital account will be debited. We will charge the E's premium for goodwill out of his capital account. So that will be E's capital account will be debited. That means deduction will be made out of E's capital account by 45,000. And entire amount will be charged toward the premium for goodwill to premium for goodwill account. 1,35,000. Is that clear, everyone? And we can also write down the narration being premium for goodwill done, everyone. And then we need to pass one more general entry, that is for the distribution of the goodwill. Distribution of goodwill. Distribution of goodwill. And for that, the general entry will be premium for goodwill account debit to sacrificing partner in the sacrificing ratio. So who are the sacrificing partners? A, B, C are sacrificing partner, and their ratio, their old ratio was how much? Their old ratio was already given in the question, now that is 5:4:1, right? So we will simply presume that this is going to be their sacrificing ratio as well. Otherwise, you can also calculate it. You will get the same answer. 5:4:1 will be their sacrificing ratio. So let's just calculate, divide 45,000 among A, B, and C. A's capital account, then B's capital account to C's capital. Right, everyone? And then we will divide it by 45,000 into 5 upon 5:4:1. No? So that is 10. So it will be 4,500 into 5, 22,500. Then 18,000. And remaining will be 4,500. Got it, everyone? Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. And then we will write down the narration being goodwill distributed among partners. Done, everyone? Or anyone is still writing?
Done, sir.
Done, Eba, Mariam, Eben.
Yes, sir. Done.
Done. Okay. All right, everyone. So this was all about question number 110. That was based on the uh, goodwill in a situation when when premium for goodwill is not brought in by the partner. Anyway, so now let's move to question number 113. We'll do one question based on the hidden goodwill. All right, so this is question number 13. Bhuvan and Shivam were partners in a firm sharing profit in the ratio of 3:2. Their capital were 50,000 and rupees 75,000 respectively. They admitted Atul on 1st of April 2018 as the partner for 1/4 share in the future profit. Atul brought 75,000 as his capital, calculate the value of goodwill of the firm, and record the necessary journal entries for the above transaction on Atul's admission. Tell me, guys, whether you will be able to solve this question or not. Shall I wait for you to finish, or tell me
Excuse
whether
me, sir.
yes,
Sir, we did this question.
we did this in the previous class?
Yes, sir. I checked.
All right, then. So no problem. Moving on to 114. Also, tell me whether we did this question or not.
No, sir, we didn't.
All right, then. So then please do this. I'm waiting for you to finish. Once you are done, then I'll tell you the answer. Got it, everyone? Everyone, please try this. This question is based on the hidden goodwill. You need to find out the value of the goodwill. Only you don't have to show the journal entries in this case. Sorry.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Alexander.
Sir, when we are calculating the total capital of the firm, we have to multiply the new partner's capital with the reciprocal of his share.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Done, everyone. Alexander, Iba, Mariam, Evan, all of you are done. Ayan, you joined late, na? No, sir, I was late. Okay. So, all of you are trying this question, Evan. You're trying this question, yes or no? Iba, Mariam. Tell me, guys, whether you are doing this or not.
Yes, sir. Done.
Yes, okay.
Sir, can you solve it, please?
Okay. All right, everyone. So those of you who are not able to solve it, let me show you the correct solution of this. But before that, I just wanted to know whether Alexander got the correct answer of this question or not. Alexander, could you please tell me the answer you got?
Sir, I got 40,000 as the firm's goodwill, and his share is 13,333.
Anyone else got the same answer? 40,000 as the firm's goodwill and 13,333 for the Pratik's goodwill. Anyone? No. Okay. By the way, this is the correct answer of the question. Let me show you the solution of it. See. First of all, in order to find out the hidden goodwill, we need to apply this formula. Hidden goodwill equals to total capital of the firm minus the combined adjusted capital of the firm, right? And to determine the value of the total capital, what do we do? We need to multiply. Sorry, we need to multiply capital introduced by the new partner, right? Capital of new partner will with the reciprocal of his share. So new partner is coming for 1/3 share, and new capital is bringing in 1 lakh as his capital. So to find out the total capital of the firm, what do we need to do? We just need to multiply 1 lakh into 3 by 1, and this way we will get the total capital of the firm, that is 3 lakh. This is how I have calculated it. 1 lakh into 3 by 1 into 3 by 1, that is 3 lakh. Got it, everyone? Is this clear, everybody? Total capital of the firm is clear to all of you? Heba, Mariam, Evan. Say yes or
sir.
no, guys. Okay. Combine, then we need to find out the combined adjusted capital, and for that the formula, how do we find out the combined capital, or the how do you find out the adjusted capital? To find out the adjusted capital, what do? We take the value of the opening capital, right? Opening capital plus reserves plus profit plus, okay, plus profit, and then minus the loss. Profit minus loss. This is how we find out the adjusted capital of one partner. But since in this question, apart from the opening capital, nothing is given, neither the reserves are there, profit is not there, loss is not given. So whatever the opening capital of the partner will be, that will be considered as the adjusted capital of that partner. So adjusted capital of the partner first will be 90,000, as same as his opening capital. Vinay's opening capital, Vinay capital was 90,000, Naman's capital was 70,000. So their adjusted capital will also remain same, because there is no reserve, profit or loss given in the question, right? So 90,000 plus 70,000 plus 1 lakh. And by adding all this, we will get the combined adjusted capital of all the partners. That will be 2,60,000. Subtracting this out of 3 lakh, we will get 40,000 as the goodwill of the firm. And since a new partner is joining in the firm for 1/3 share, so that means whatever the goodwill of the firm is, Pratik will have to share 1/3 of this goodwill. So 1/3 of the 40,000 will be how much? It will be 13,000. Got it, everyone? Is this clear? Yes or no? Sorry.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Clear, everyone? Heba, Abin, Ayan.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Yes, sir.
All right. Please note this down quickly so that we can proceed to the next question.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right, everyone. So let's move to the next question. Now let's try one full-fledged question. Let's talk about the question number 116. All right. But before that, this is question number 115. Please take the screenshot of this question. Okay, okay. 115 is same as 114. My mistake. I think I have just copy and pasted the previous question on this slide as well. My mistake. Moving on to question 116. 116 says that there are two partners, Madhu and Vidhi, who were sharing the profit in the ratio of 2:3. Right, their asset and liabilities are given. The balance sheet is basically given, and it says that Madhu and Vidhi have decided to admit Gayatri as their new partner, and their new profit sharing ratio will be 2:3:5. Okay, so the new profit sharing ratio is already given. Gayatri brought 4 lakh as a capital. And share of goodwill premium in cash. Goodwill of the firm, goodwill of the firm is 3 lakh. Goodwill of the firm is 3 lakh, right? So out of 3 lakh, we need to determine the value that Gayatri will brought in as her share of premium for goodwill. Land and building was found undervalued by 26,000. Provision for doubtful debt was to be made equal to 5%. There was a claim of 6,000 on account of workman compensation claim. We need to prepare the revaluation account, partners capital account, and balance sheet. I hope that all of you remember how do we actually prepare the revaluation account. We did this long ago. I'm sure that you will be able to recall this. How do we prepare the, everybody is able to recall what is the revaluation account and how do we prepare it? Because in this question we need to have an idea about the revaluation, otherwise you won't be able to solve this question. Tell me, everybody is able to recall the revaluation account, its format, and the partners account and the balance sheet as well?
Yes, sir.
Yes or okay? All right, then so let's continue with the 116. In this question, we need to first of all prepare the revaluation account, partners capital account, and balance sheet. Let's just first of all everybody just prepare the format of these accounts, and then uh, I'll start with the solution. So first of all, let's just make the format of it. We'll first of all make the format of the revaluation account. This is our revaluation account, particular amount, particulars, and number. Okay, now we will prepare the revaluation, the partner's capital account. Particular, then the name of the partners who are the partner Madhu Vidhi, and they are admitting one new partner Gayatri. Gayatri. Then particulars, Madhu, Vidhi, Gayatri. All right. And then we need to prepare one more format for the balance sheet as well. This is how we will prepare the format of all the different types of statement and accounts. So let's start with the first of all the revaluation account, right? Everybody is able to recall the different formats, now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, the first information in the question is regarding the goodwill of the firm, right? So let's just treat the value of the goodwill first of all. The goodwill of the firm was valued at 3 lakh. Now, whatever the value of the goodwill is written here, we need to, since it is the self-valued goodwill, we need to find out the new partner share in the goodwill, right? So see, new partner is coming for how much share? 5/10. Is that right? New part Gayatri is the new partner, right? Everybody, Gayatri is our new partner, and after the admission of Gayatri, the new profit sharing ratio is 2:3:5. That means Gayatri's share is 5/10. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell me everyone, Hiba, Mariam, Eben, Ayan. Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Gayatri is as a
Okay. So let's just first of all find out her share of goodwill. We'll have to prepare a working note. Gayatri shares in goodwill. So goodwill of the firm is 3 lakh. So Gayatri share will be 3 lakh into 5/10, right? So that means it will be 1,80,000. Yes or no, everybody? Gayatri share will be 1,80,000. Is that correct?
Sir, 1,50,000.
1 lakh. Oh, I'm sorry. 1,50,000. Right. Okay. Now, since it is written in the question that Gayatri is Gayatri brought 4 lakh as their capital and her share of goodwill premium in cash. Right. So we need to pass the general entry now. We'll write down. We need to pass the general entry. However, general entry is not required in the question, but anyways, we'll still do this. General entry for the for bringing in the capital. For bringing in the capital, we'll write down cash account debit. Right, cash account debit will be 4 lakh to Gayatri's capital account. Four lakhs. So now what we will do, we will just record this general entry into the partner's capital account. See, in this general entry, it says that cash account need to be debited and Gayatri's capital account need to be credited, right? So we'll go to the partner's capital account, and on the credit side of the capital account, we'll write down here, we'll write down by cash. Gayatri is bringing how much? 4 lakh as her share of capital. Got it, everyone? Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
So for the sake of reference, I'm just writing it here. Capital. This is capital. It is not required to be written. I'm just writing it for the sake of reference, so as to make it more clear. All right. Now, let's talk about the goodwill. So goodwill, whatever the goodwill is 1,50,000 that Gayatri is also bringing in. It says in the question that Gayatri is contributing the share of capital as well as the goodwill in cash. So 1,50,000 Gayatri will be bringing in cash, right? And this cash will be distributed ultimately to the partners, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
To the sacrificing partners in their sacrificing ratio. And since the old ratio is in the question is given, everybody is able to see that old ratio is how much? Old ratio is 2:3. That means
2:3.
the sacrificing ratio will also be 2:3, and that actually means the goodwill that Gayatri is bringing in will be distributed among between Madhu and Vidhi in the ratio of 2:3. Right. So I'm not passing any general entry for that. Just let me show the distribution. 1,50,000. This is the amount of goodwill that Madhu is bringing, right? And not Madhu, Gayatri is bringing in, and we will be distributing it between Madhu and Vidhi. Madhu's share will be, and Vidhi's share will be. Madhu will take 1,50,000 into 2/3, that means 2.5, and 1,50,000 into 3/5. Right, everyone, is this clear? Yes or no? The calculation of the distribution of goodwill between Madhu and Vidhi is clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that means Madhu is going to get 6,000 in cash, and Vidhi is also going to get cash of rupees 9,000. What is the general entry for the distribution of goodwill among the partners? What is the general entry?
Sir, premium for goodwill account debit to Madhu and Vidhi.
Right? That means we'll go to the partners capital account. On the credit side, we'll write 6,000, 9,000 in the Madhu and Vidhi's account by the name of premium for goodwill. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So let's do that. Going to the partners capital account, we'll write down by premium for goodwill. Madhu's account is going to going to be credited by 6,000, and Viri's account will be credited by 9,000. Got it? Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we will go to the, pass the entry for the remaining item. Moving on to the adjustment number 2, it says that land and building was found undervalued by 26,000. Undervalued by 26,000. Land and building was undervalued by 20. What does this mean? This means that 3 lakh, the land and building value of the land and building in the asset is how much? It is 3 lakh, and it is undervalued. Basically means the value of the land and building actually stands at 3,26,000, but in the balance sheet it is being shown at 3 lakh. So that means there is an increase in the value of the building, right? In the market we have an increase in the value of the land and building, but it is still being recorded at 3 lakh only in the balance sheet. So that basically means the land and building is increasing by 26,000. Is that correct, everyone? So we'll go to the revaluation account. The valuation account says the value of the land and building is increasing. On which side of the revaluation account we need to record this? Tell me. On which side of the revaluation account I should record the increase in the value of the land and building? Tell me.
So credit side.
Credit side, by the name of by land and building. Right, everyone? Is this clear to all of you?
Yes.
Then the second thing is provision for doubtful debt was to be made equal to 5% of the debtor. Now see, we already have made a provision for doubtful debtors, right? Debtors standing at 3 lakh, we made a provision of 10,000, and after subtracting the provision, we have a value of the debtor as 2,90,000. But what does the question requires us to do? Question is telling us that the doubtful debt need to be the provision for the doubtful debt is needed to be prepared at 5%. So that means if we calculate 5% of 3 lakh, that is equal to 15,000. So provision should have been made for 15,000, yes or no? But we actually have made a provision for how much only? Tell me.
10,000.
10,000. That means we need to increase the amount of provision by 5%. Since we already made a provision of 10,000, but provision actually required is 5%, that is 15,000. That means we need to increase the provision for doubtful debt by 5%. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that means that there is going to be a reduction in the debtor by 5,000 more, right? So we'll go to the revaluation account. Since the value of debtor is an asset and asset is reducing due to the provision for doubtful debt, so we'll write down to provision for doubtful debt. Provision for debtor. That will be 5,000. Got it? Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Coming back to the question, it says in the fourth point, in fact, there was a claim of 6,000 on account of workman compensation claim. Workman compensation, there is no provision regarding the workman compensation claim in the balance sheet on the liability side. Is there anything regarding the workman compensation in the balance sheet? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, there is nothing in the balance sheet. Since workman compensation claim was made for 6,000, this is an obvious loss for the business. And because it is going to be a loss for the business, so we'll go to the revaluation account, and on the debit side of the revaluation account, we'll write this down to compensation, workman compensation claim. $6,000. Tell me, everyone, is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Clear.
What else is there that is affecting the revaluation, that can affect the revaluation? I don't think there is other thing given in the question that can affect the revaluation. That means we can just close the revaluation account. Nothing is there. Okay, one thing in the balance sheet is given as general reserve on the liability side. Everybody is able to see that. And there is no adjustment entry given in the question regarding the general reserve. That means general reserve will be distributed among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. We'll discuss that later. This is not related to revaluation account, so we can ignore this point for the time being. Let's just find out the profit under the revaluation account. Right. So if 5 plus 6 is 11, 11 minus 26. Tell me. 11 minus 26 is how much? 15,000. No? So profit transferred to profit will be 15,000, and this profit will be distributed between Madhu and Vidhi. Madhu and Vidhi in their profit sharing ratio. $15,000, and the ratio was 2/5 and 3/5. So that means 6,000 and 9.
So type homo.
Right, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Done. All of your evaluation account is done. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Done.
Yes. All right. So since the time is up and we are still required to prepare the partner's capital account and the balance sheet. So guys, everything most important part of the question is already done. I'm giving you partner's capital account, the formation of the partner's capital account and the balance sheet. I'm giving you as your homework. We will talk about this in the next session as well if you are not able to solve it. So the question is not yet completed. We will have to invest more time in solving it, but the time is already up, so we won't be preparing the partner's capital account in today's session. I'm just giving you as your homework. Just try to solve it. If you are not able to solve it, I'll be otherwise solving it in the next session. Okay, everybody, is that clear?
Yes, sir. Can we take a screenshot of the question?
Yeah, please take the screenshot of the first of all, take the screenshot of the evaluation account, and I'm also going to show you the question. Just a moment. Take the screenshot of the question.
That's
Okay. All right then. So everyone, this is it for today's session. Now you can just log out the session. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you in the next time. Till then, take care.
okay, sir. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.